Yeah, but Ron believes he crossed the line. Do you agree with Ron? Morning everyone, welcome back to another Sunday video where we chat about something, namely Justin Trudeau in this case, and take a look at your comments and what you had to say about the crazy activities that was happening last week. Yeah, what a week, eh? Anyway, let's get on with Justin Trudeau. So it looks like he's definitely 100% going to go all the way to the bottom of the ocean with the Liberal Party. He's said in this interview, that word, that he's going to definitely stay on and he's going to lead the Liberal government right into the next election, whenever that will be. We were hoping it would be sooner with the Bloc and everything, arguing the about the pensions and about delivery stuff or whatever. The Bloc had a couple of bills that he wanted to push through, and Trudeau basically, like he usually does, just ignored them. Obviously, he doesn't read anything, does he? Anyway, let's have a listen to what Trudeau said just last week.
This is your first sit down, I think, since all this happened. You're not resigning. You're staying on as Liberal.
I had a press conference yesterday,
yes.
I am determined to lead this party into the next election because we need to put all our tools together, and I am actually really excited about this fight. I think the opportunity to allow Canadians to make the best possible choice for the future is what we all get into politics for, to make a difference, to pitch an argument, and to connect with Canadians in a way that gives them optimism and a realistic plan for the future. That's what we're in the business of, and that's what I'm excited about.
Seriously, how detached is Justin Trudeau? He's saying that he wants to connect with Canadians. He's already in charge. He should be connecting. He should be helping Canadians now. He should be cancelling carbon tax. He should be putting things into place now while he's in charge to help Canadians, to make our lives better, not trying to tax us off the face of Canada. So there you go. He wants to stay on because he still wants to work for Canadians. He wants Canadians to choose for the what? Really? He's listen, this is a guy that's only been to the grocery store once in the last 2 years, and he went with the House Speaker that time. He's been to the grocery store once 2 years ago. They actually said that in the House of Commons. Crazy, eh? Absolutely crazy. This guy is so detached with reality, it's unbelievable. Anyway, what do you think? Do you think he's going to lead them into the next election? Do you think he'll get kicked out? Do you want him to lead them into the next election? I certainly do. I definitely 100% want Justin Trudeau to watch as the whole empire collapses around Gould, Guilbeault, Freeland, the whole lot of them. Holland. I want the whole thing to come down on top of them, and Poilievre to just walk in there and take over. That would be a great result for common sense people and common sense politics and common sense things that we want back in the country. Anyway, let's have a look at your comments. Dollar store glasses. Anyone else use dollar store reading glasses other than me? He's back. Was Don Cherry right about Canada and immigration? Yeah, wow. You guys, you love Don Cherry. I sort of thought you did. That's why, not why I did the video, but Don Cherry is an icon. It's a bit like, in England we have similar sort of icons, but Don Cherry in Canada, wow. He's like, well, you guys want him to be Prime Minister now. We'll get on with that. Film to Sound said,
another reason to defund the CBC.
100%. They should bring him back. He should have his own program. Or no, they should bring him back to do what he was doing and comment in the middle of the hockey games. That's what he was there to do, to bring a little bit of realism to what was going on in the hockey. A lot of people who watch the hockey in Canada, the working class people, you know, that they really, really love their hockey and love to hear things from the heart. You know, from people who care about Canada, let's put it that way. Shirley said,
He was right. Our veterans are the reason why we are here.
Tim Everett said,
He was absolutely right. Time to cancel these idiot leftists.
if only, eh? If only we could. Sam said,
If only we had kept Cherry and got rid of Trudeau.
exactly, you see? This is what I'm saying. People are edging towards Don Cherry being the next Prime Minister of Canada. Chris Rooney said,
Imagine getting cancelled for sticking up for our veterans. What a sad society. Don, 100%.
Terry said,
Love Don Cherry. He did have it right, and yes, many of us Canadians knew he got screwed over.
100%, yeah. Like what C for Cats says.
Ron McLean, the coward backstabber, should have been cancelled. Don is an honourable man with integrity, honest to a fault. He could have coached the Leafs, which was a lifelong dream of his, but instead honoured a handshake contract and coached the Colorado Rockies instead. A man of honour.
He did, yeah. I didn't know he was. He could have been offered the Leafs job. Not that anybody would want to take that job because the Leafs are just. Leafs are so up and down, eh? It's terrible. Mary said,
Was horrified when they canned him. Turn Ron off anytime I see him.
yeah, there's not a lot of love for Ron McLean, is there? Kathy said,
Don Cherry spoke the truth, that the left didn't want to hear. My grandmother was best friends with Dick Duff's mother, and she praised Don Cherry to the roof. Not many around like him. Hockey Night in Canada wasn't Canadian without Don Cherry.
yeah, there's a lot of people tuning out of Hockey Night in Canada at the moment. Sylvie said,
Imagine a Canadian going to another country for their milk and honey and not abiding by their rules and demanding they change their policies and legislations to meet their needs. What would that look like, eh?
Old Biker said,
Don is Don. He's rough around the edges. That's what we liked about him. He has heart. He loves Canada, and I agreed with him. You don't come here to change Canada. You came here to be part of it. If you don't like where you came from, leave the BS you left back there.
yeah, when I came here, England was bad for stabby things going on there, and just really an uncomfortable place to live, to be honest. In some places in England, in where I was in Blackpool, it was getting rough. We came to Canada a couple of times on holiday, and we just loved we came during the Harper years. We came over to look at Canada, and we loved the laid back. Canada was so laid back then. 2007, 2008, 2006, 7 and 8 is when we were looking into Canada, and we were coming over on vacations, like longer vacations. Yeah, we loved the laid back lifestyle that was going on here. It was cool. It was really good. I never saw tent cities or homeless or anything back then. Nothing like that. Nothing that I was seeing in England was I seeing in Canada. So we made the move. Now look at Canada. John said,
Don Cherry is a patriot, and you can always count on him being direct and calling it like it is. He was also a victim of hurt feelings from the paid media.
Yeah, in England we call that hurty words. If you ever watch GB News, they say, oh, hurty words got someone locked up for a Facebook post. Schwag says,
Thank God Don Cherry is speaking out again. What happened was BS. He was cancelled for telling the truth, and look at the mess we are in now. Cannot wait to hear what he has to say.
I'll try and find his podcast and put a link in the description. Oh, by the way, guys, make sure you check your subscriptions for the channel, because, again, people are being unsubscribed. I have no idea why. No idea. And also, a lot of the videos aren't getting pushed to the subscribers that we already have. That's been happening to a lot of people, though. It's also been happening to Unacceptable Fringe. Derek over there, he's had the same issues. He's been talking about it on his live streams. Dale said,
Don Cherry is a true Canadian hero and patriot, spoke the absolute truth, which is that Canada is experiencing many difficult issues, especially with migrant problems. Canadians are facing 100%. Canadians must be first.
Maybe that's why they're reducing the amount of immigration that's coming in. Or maybe they just want to, the Liberals, maybe the Liberals just want to copy what Poilievre says, because what Poilievre says is what the Canadian people want. So other than carbon tax, Liberal government are almost copying everything that Poilievre is saying. Bill said,
We need more Don Cherrys. What's wrong with loving your country and standing up for something you believe in?
Apparently loving your country isn't a thing anymore, Don. It's something that you should be ridiculed for. You should have to incorporate all countries. Yes, from the sea to the sea, Canada will be free. Yeah, that sort of thing. Or is it sea to sea to sea, Canada will be free? Bob.
Love, 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 love Don Cherry. I've always stood with Don Cherry. McLean isn't his friend. McLean is the worst kind of friend you can have. Didn't even hesitate. Threw Don under the bus for his gain. Don should be on Spotify just like Rogan. Looking forward to his podcast on any platform. Go Don, go.
Yeah, a lot of people really like it, right? The Slick Shady Dave K.
I will immediately be subscribing to Don Cherry's channel. I'm not a big podcast guy, but I want him to get as many subs as he can get.
Well done, Dave. John said,
In my opinion, Don Cherry is the greatest Canadian we've had. It's an absolute disgrace what the CBC did to this man.
and John said,
God bless Don Cherry, and F us for letting our shitty country fall so far.
why don't you say what you really mean, John? Well said, mate. Brad said,
He should have not been cancelled for speaking the truth.
he shouldn't have been. No, it's like, well, let's just look back. A few years ago, we were, we were peak woke. Absolutely peak woke. And now there's a little bit of a fight back. I don't know if you've noticed, but there is a little bit of a fight back against woke. And in England, it's happened. The school thing with the children, I'm not going to say anything about it, but England has fought back on that and has stopped it. So that was the Kickstarter to woke not being cancelled, because there are a lot of really strange, odd people around. But it's a Kickstarter to us getting back to reality. That's what I think. Mr. Doug.
I work for the federal government, and when the truth is inconvenient, the understanding is that you will not disclose, say anything, or you will face severe and ever-increasing retaliation.
Yeah, so they named 4 when we got 5 of the people who need to be named. But CBC, CTV, Global, CP24, silence, innit? Absolute silence on that. Where's the headlines on that one? Joanne Roberts says,
All those years, he was allowed to get away with saying the things against European and Russian hockey players, but as soon as he says something about you people not wearing poppies, fired. You people don't even watch hockey. Why does it even matter? Such BS.
It's a point, but there are a lot of people who do watch the hockey, but there's a point that a lot of people wouldn't be, if the news hadn't made a big thing of that, if CBC hadn't said, oh, look what's happened to Don Cherry, blah, 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 most people wouldn't have even known. Ryan said,
Man, if only Cherry ran for Prime Minister, Canada would be in a better place right now.
There you go. Told you, didn't I? He's not the only one who said that Don Cherry should run for Prime Minister. Stevie said,
Thank you for making this video. First off, there's a thing called freedom of speech, so there shouldn't have been a problem in the first place. Second of all, he was right all along. I support him 100%. Don Cherry should be the Prime Minister of this country, far as I'm concerned. You people need to buy a poppy this year, 2024.
Don Cherry for Prime Minister? What do you think, guys? Ron said,
He crossed the line as a paid employee of CBC. He can post his anger issues privately now.
Yes, so Ron is maybe the only person who thought that Don Cherry crossed the line out of, we had almost 1,000 comments on that, and he went to like over 40,000 views. Yeah, but Ron believes he crossed the line. Do you agree with Ron? No, of course you don't. Louise said,
Canada was the best in the 1980s. Stupid Trudeau screwed it all up. This place sucks today. Moving to the USA.
Now, Louise, I kept this comment because so I just cut a bit out there because I said the name of the person, the lady person who's running for election in the South. And I think if I mention her name on my videos get cancelled or suppressed. So if the lady in the South wins the election, will you still want to move there? What happens if the man wins? Which way would you go, Louise? I'd love to see a comment from you. If the lady wins, would you go to the US? Dominic.
You know CTV did the same thing on Jamil Jivani. After that, Jamil was unheard of and everyone forgot him. I was a big fan of Jamil when he had his segment on radio, but look at him now. He's an MP and he's after the media.
Yeah, I didn't know that about Jamal. I'm really glad you. I gave you an answer on that one as well, Dominic. I didn't know that, and he's Durham. He's over there. See there, that's Durham. Yeah, he's the minister for that area now. I'm really glad he got voted in there, because the other people who could have got voted in there, that would have absolutely ruined that place, ruined Durham. And Durham is a really, really proper, good working class. There's farms. It's an amazing place to drive around. We go up to Port Perry and we go up to Scugog and go to the reserves out there. It's absolutely an amazing place, and he's the right guy to be in charge of that place. Everyone gets a check. Every Canadian gets cash back. Check to be sure to vote for me. Look, I'm going to vote for Doug Ford anyway. It doesn't matter what he does, because there is no option. There is no option in Ontario to vote. You might think Doug Ford is a conservative liberal, right? Which he is. He's 50-50 liberal, which I don't like about him. But I'd rather have a 50-50 conservative liberal than a 100% liberal NDP person in charge of where I live, because I just couldn't live with that. And we did have to live with that under Wynne. When Kathleen Wynne was in charge of Ontario, this place, it sunk. It really did sink. Bob said,
I will gladly take it. Thanks, Doug. At least he's trying. If he was a Liberal or an NDP, or God forbid a Green, there wouldn't be any Green to give back. I would be more than willing to wager on that.
Yeah, all that money would have been squandered on something other than, or they would have sent it abroad, or sent it to somewhere, or wasted it on some sort of DEI formatted thing that they want to do. But no, he's giving it back. Peter Henry said,
$200 isn't much, but at least Ford is putting back the money into Ontarians' pockets, as opposed to Trudeau, who never stops taking money out of your pocket. Thanks for the video.
So the thing is there, Peter, what I was thinking is, with Trudeau, he takes carbon tax off people, right? But he gives it back to people who've obviously paid carbon tax. And obviously some people who've paid carbon tax don't get it back. But he also gives it back to people who ride bicycles, who walk to work, who rent, who don't pay towards it. This $200 goes towards anybody who filed a tax tax return in 2023, 2024, right? So you have to have worked and paid tax at least, or applied for tax and for tax. So basically, it's like a top up on your tax refund. He's giving it you back. So if you did your taxes and you get a tax refund, you're not going to say, oh no, I don't want that back, I'd rather the government keep it. No, well, you would take it. And it's the same with this tax refund. He's seen that people have paid a bit too much tax to the government, and he's giving it back. So for that reason, I'll take it. Going to be a wacky week next week, isn't it? Hey, let's keep Canada wacko free. But yeah, it's going to go pretty wacky in the southern part below us. I don't know if you're going to be following any of the live streams. Pretty sure I will. Hopefully Derek will have one on Unacceptable Fringe. That's the one I usually go to for the live streams, because it's good to see some of the views of people as the votes are going down. At least with Derek, he stays on point and he talks about what is actually going on. Anyway, I'll see you on one of them live streams maybe, or on tomorrow's Monday video. Cheers, guys.